Stevens ASMR featuring Busyb. Message. How we receive and how we learn things comes from the intuition you've heard. How we receive can be according to how we learn. Maybe there will be certain blockages in our mind and our spirits, blocking out certain things due to unhealed, because they're renewing the parts that are not renewed, or really maybe see it as the unhealed versions of ourselves, which we all have it. An unhealed version of ourselves that, look at this, I'm back to the water metaphor I use. Say that there would be dirty parts about us, certain parts that needed to be healed, but maybe we just don't know those parts because we have yet to tap into it. But the part when we tap into, we see these things, but maybe many of us don't. Choose not to tap into these things because we don't want to see those unhealed parts. We don't want there to be parts of us that are unhealed, not healed. Parts that we're not ready to face the realities of having to face these parts about ourselves. If we finally decide to face up and just come into contact with these unhealed parts, what would they look like? What would come to fruition and start manifesting in front of us? The parts that we don't want to see, but we must, if we truly want healing. And I tend to ask myself, do most people seek, or maybe they seek it, but yet they're too afraid to know those parts because it brings up too many trauma, past memories that are just too painful to face. And so we start breathing even more heavier. We just don't want to see these parts about us. They keep coming back up and coming back up and coming back up. And so we keep reflecting back to these parts, and the parts that we don't want to face. Imagine this as an example, that what if that elephant in the room, or whatever it was in the room, started to attack you over and over and over and over and over again, until you finally decided to tap in to those unhealed parts? You ever heard of the phrase, the elephant in the room? But everyone else is focused on the other parts besides the elephant, besides whatever it is in the room. And so, what if the elephant, or whatever it was, the elephant you can view as the unhealed parts of us, or whatever it is, maybe in the room, but we're focusing on other things that soothe our pain. We're focusing on things that take our mind off the pain, off the trauma, off everything, but yet we don't want to face the realities of the pain we are under. And the elephant in the room starts to attack us and other things, whatever it may be. You can look at it as an elephant, or whatever it may be in the room. It could be maybe a villain, it could be whatever character you see or imagine would be in the room. It would start to turn on you and attack you until you finally decide to tap into those unhealed parts. And I believe that's what needs to happen to many of us, because we still, maybe it would be like we keep soothing our pain with other things, and that's what it is with most people. But the thing is that's in the room is going to start attacking. And it's all done for a great cause, so you do get the healing you need, because sometimes it's almost like, well, if we're not forcing ourselves, maybe whatever it is, and the external, the elephant or whatever, starts to attack us until we tap into the unhealed parts of us. What if that was the case that needed to happen? And if so, do many of you believe that this is going to start happening to people? It's almost like, if you think about it, the world is changing, and it's almost like people are waking up to the things around them, but at the same time, are they waking up to the internal things? Not so much the external, but it's also, you think of it, you've heard the awakening. What if it's the awakening of the internal? The external, yes, but the internal as well, to the nature of humans, of all the unhealed parts of us that we have to start attending to before it's too late. Hey, that's just my opinion, but what if it really is like that? They're talking about the Great Awakening, but it's almost like that seems more of an external thing, but what if it's also a Great Awakening of the internal? Tapping into, and you can't run from it. People think, I'm going to keep running and running. Eventually, it will find you. Too many people have this mentality, they will keep running their whole lives, but eventually, it will catch us. The unhealed, and the unhealed. Ask yourself, why do I have unhealed portions? Do I have an elephant in the room? Do I have the parts of me I don't want to face? Do I have those portions of me that are just hard to face? And you can say, yes. Yes, yes, I do. And I do. Don't let it be too late for some of you. Don't wait your entire life before you find and face and tap into those untapped portions about yourself the elephant or the elephants in the room. But however you view it, you have to ask yourself, are the unhealed portions of us somehow holding us back in life? An example of this, we can go our whole lives wearing different lenses and glasses of how we view people, reality, and the world itself. And we all basically put on different lenses, different glasses, and that's how we view things and view people and view society, view the world. Are we refusing to check into the elephant in the room or the elephants? What are we doing? What are we focusing on? What could it be? What does it mean? What does it mean? I just think it's probably, for many of us, important to ask these questions. Is it important for you to ask these questions? And what is really of importance to you? And that's something good to think about, to think on, and think about, and about. Absolutely. 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 Yes. Ending message of the elephant and the unhealed awareness.